Hello everyone, welcome back to another Game Chicken episode of Planescape Torment. Talk to Dakon about
What is your will?
ways of Zerfamon or whatever. Things I would like to know about your teaching. I haven't read. More round stone is the Unbroken Circle of Zerfamon. Unbroken Circle is a Zerf religious text containing teachings of Zerfamon, founder of the Givzerai people. The circle is made up of a series of interlocking circles, pulled out from one another, depending on which branch the reader wishes to follow in the path of teaching. It is said that some Zerfs spend years poring over the combinations of the plates, few significant teachings. What is it then? Unlock the first plate. Mirror the motions that Dakon made upon the circle, and the plate gives way at your touch. Rings sliding into a new configuration. Upon the rings are a series of symbols. Script like no writing I've ever seen. It's a series of interlocking geometries, with circles predominating. Just looking at it, you know the symbols, you know you can read them. Read the first. Know that we are the first people. Once all was chaos. The first people were fought drawn chaos. The first people came to know themselves. They were chaos no longer and became flesh. Their thoughts and knowing of matter, the people shaped the first world there with their knowing to sustain them. Yet the flesh was new to the people, and with it, the people came not to know themselves. Flesh gave rise to new thoughts, greed and hate, pains and joys, jealousies and doubts. All these fed on each other, and the minds of the people were divided. In their division, the people were punished. Emotions of the flesh were strong, the greed and hates, the pains and joys, the jealousies and doubts. All these served as a guiding stone to enemies. Becoming flesh, the first people became enslaved to those who knew flesh only as tools of their will. Oh, these beasts were the Illithids. What, so mind flayers? Dungeons and Dragons mind flayers going in here now? Alright. Illithids were a race that had come not to know themselves. They had learned how to make other races not know themselves. They were the tentacled ones. They lived in flesh and saw flesh as their will. Their blood was as water, and they shaped minds with their thought. The Illithids came upon the people were people no more, the people became slaves. Illithids took the people from the first world and brought them to the false world. As the people labored upon the Illithids taught them the way of the flesh. Through them the people came to know loss, they came to know suffering, they came to know death, both of the body and the mind. They came to know what it is to be the herd of another and have their flesh consumed. They came to know the horror of being, made to feel joy in such things. The Unbroken Circle is a knowing of how the people lost themselves, how they came to know themselves again. Now I have to talk.
What is your will?
About your teaching. Read the Unbroken Circle of Zerfamon. Learn that your people were once slaves to the Illithids. It seems they committed many crimes against the people. Dakon's forehead creases into a frown. Then you have come to know nothing. Jeez. Strength lies in knowing oneself. I learned that once someone does not know, they are lost. They become
Updated my journal.
You have come to know the first circle of Zerfamon. You not only see the words of Zerfamon, you come to know them. Dakon holds up the circle and hooks his finger around the edges. There is a click, and the plates of the circle slide into a new configuration. Reverses the motion, sealing the stone. Know the second circle of Zerfamon is open to you. Study it. I will hear your words. First, the second circle. Know that flesh cannot mark steel. Know that steel may mark flesh, and knowing this, Zerfamon became free. Know that the tentacled ones were of the flesh. They relied on the flesh and used for their will. One of the places where flesh served their will was the fields of Huss on the false word. Fields where the bodies of the people were cast after the Illithids had consumed their brains. When the brain had been devoured, the Huss came to be fertilizer and to grow the poison stem grasses of the Illithids. Zerfamon worked the fields with no knowing of himself or what he had become. He was a pool of flesh, and the flesh was upon these fields that Zerfamon came to know the scripture of steel. During one of the turnings, as Zerfamon tilled the fields of his hands, he came across a husk whose brain remained within. It had not been used as food, yet it was dead. Thought that one of the husks had died a death without serving as food. what Zerfamon had difficulty understanding. From that thought came a desire to know what had happened to the husk. Embedded in the skull of the husk was a steel blade. It had pierced the bone. Zerfamon realized that was what had killed the husk. Hard to read. Steel had marked the flesh, but the flesh had not marked the steel. Zerfamon took the blade and studied its surface. In it, he saw his reflection. The reflection of the steel that Zerfamon first knew himself. The edge was sharp, against the will of the wearers. A blade that would come to be raised against gift when Zerfamon made the pronouncement of guise. Zerfamon had kept the blade for many turnings, and many were the thoughts he had about it. He used it in the fields to aid his work, and using it, he thought about how it was not used. Illithids were powerful. Zerfamon had believed that there was nothing they did not know. Yet the Illithids never carried tools to steal, they only used flesh as everything was done through flesh, for the tentacle ones were made of flesh and they knew flesh. Steel was superior to flesh. The blade had killed the husk, it was flesh that had been weaker than the steel. It was then Zerfamon came to know that flesh yielded to steel, and knowing that, he came to know that steel was strong. Steel became the scripture of the people. Know that steel is scripture by which the people came to know freedom. Again.
What is your will?
With the circle number 4. I learned that not knowing something can be a tool, just like flesh and steel. If upon encountering it, you attempt to know its nature and how it came to be. You've seen the words and you've seen beyond them. You've come to know the second circle of Zerfamon. He takes a circle and with a deft motion he transforms. But strangely enough, the stone still appears intact. He hands the plate to you. Meditate upon this teaching, and the knowing of it shall give you strength. You have absorbed it, you shall know more. Dagon's fingers. Episode. Alright.
Done.
Well, 2's enough, because I actually want other things other than this episode. I know for a fact that circles go on for a long time. Byron Pickett. See a well-dressed middle-aged man. He seems to be scanning the crowd with a practiced eye. He notices you approach and gives you a quick one. He smiles at you and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I am Byron Pickett, moneylender. Moneylender. May I help you? Moneylender? Nods again. Yes. I cater to the needs of merchants. Wants to start a business? Keep on afloat that's down on its luck, or perhaps expand a business. In either case, you have come me for the funds. He looks you up and down. I doubt you are a merchant, sir. So what can I do for you? I have some questions. What is this place? If you mean the ward in general, it's called the Lower Ward. If you mean this particular locale, it's the open air market. Tell me about the open air. Just at the building behind him, an excellent market that caters to just about every need. Pauses to think for a moment before continuing. Nothing exotic is available. These sods cannot afford items, but a good market nonetheless. Hoity toity. Looking for someone named Lothar. Gives you a quizzical look. Really? Why in the name of the 9 hells would you want to find him? He stole a skull of mine. Oh, what do you think you're going to do? Just march in and demand it back? He looks you up and down. I admit that you appear more than capable of handling yourself in a fight, but against Lothar? He snorts. Your skull will decorate his walls. I still need to find him. He pauses for a moment. I have reasons, quite good ones, I can assure you, not to point anyone toward Lothar. Now pike it, so. He fucking pissed off for no reason? That's just same people are. He's an older man in elegant robes. He has bright eyes. Warm smile. He gives you a slight bow as you approach. Good day, Cutter. I am Sebastian. How may I serve you? Greetings to you as well, Cutter. He stops in mid-sentence. He's noticed your scars. You see his eyes travel along them and his eyebrows arch in surprise. He returns his gaze to you. I was about to ask what I could do for you, but there is no need. I think you see why you came to see me, Cutter. What? Are you trying to say you can help me with these scars? He smiles at you and shrugs his shoulders. Perhaps, Cutter, perhaps. He leans forward and begins to examine your scars carefully. He runs a finger along several of them, mumbling to himself. Finally, he looks up at you. Yes, Cutter, I can help you. I cannot cure you, but I can alleviate the worst of your... Price? Ah, yes, the price. He begins stroking his chin and stares at you. You get the impression you're being weighed somehow. He seems to come to some sort of... decision. I have a job and I think you can perform. Go on. I've signed a contract with a certain creature. I'm no longer able to fulfill the contract. It is beyond my abilities. However, the creature will not release me from it. Instead, it has threatened me with death unless I fulfill the contract. Yes, you want a problem for it. He sighs. Yes, I cannot do it myself. My reputation demands that I fulfill the contract or face the contract. I am at your mercy in this regard. You help me? What kind of creature? A Bishay named Grossuck Cutter. He pauses to gauge your reaction. I know this is a difficult task, but one I think you can handle. Also, the reward I offer you is great. What are you contracted to do? Shakes his head. I cannot reveal that information, Cutter. I'm magically bound not to. That is why people come to me. They know that if I accept the contract, it will be handled with discretion. In the details.
My journal.
Smiles at you and gives a sigh of relief. Thank you, Cutter. The creature is an Abishai named. Need a magic weapon arm. Check with some of the shops. Not only forecasts can harm it as well. Grossuck can be found east beyond the siege tower. Tower? Yes, over beyond the market. Damn thing just appeared one day, several years back. No one knows why, and no one seems to be able to get inside it to find out. That's what it is. Very nice. Alright. Anthea. A pretty young woman in fine clothes. Her skin lacks the usual yellow tint of the inhabitants of the forge. She appears to be watching nearby creatures of Greetings. Turns to face you, an annoyed look crosses the face. Yes, what do you want? I have some questions. Fine. Who are you? My name is Anthea. Looks at you up and down, then frowns. Is there something else you want? What are you doing here? It's going to be a fight and I want to see it. She smiles wickedly. It should be interesting. Right? Yes, see the three Focola over there? She points to three hulking creatures with rippling muscles. They're gonna try and kill on Abishai. Stupid opes. There's something called Abishai. What exactly is it? It's a lower plains creature, a Batizu, I think. Frowns in fort. In any case, Abishai are very nasty, sharp claws and can cast spells. Very formidable. Focola look like they can take care of themselves. Normally I would say yes. Focola are very powerful warriors. She smiles slyly and leans into it. However, I know something they don't. What might that be? Abishai can only be hurt by magic. The Focola will be slaughtered, I have no doubt of it. She straightens up and watches the Focola eagerly. How do you know they can only be hurt by magic? Gives you an annoyed look. My husband is very high up in the Harmonium. Harmonium guards are trained to deal with creatures such as Abishai. She looks away. That's how I know. My husband told me. Why don't you warn them? Why should I do that? She smiles evilly. I'm the one who suggested the fight. Why? My husband tries to better his social standing with his underlings by drinking with them in the local taverns. Last evening he forced me to just such an occasion. The three oafs were there, boasting of their prowess as warriors. It was obvious they were in a drunken stupor. They decided to leave. One of them tripped and fell on the table I was sitting. She pauses. Go on. Frowns angrily. Most of the drinks at the table spilled onto my lap and ruined a very expensive evening gown. So while the cretin was trying to apologize, I whispered to him that I only accepted the apology of a warrior of stature. If he were truly such a warrior, he'd be able to defeat an Abishai in hand-to-hand combat. Going to get them killed because they ruined a dress?
My journal.
You obviously don't understand the intricacies behind this situation. I think I do. I think you're a bitch. She looks at you like you're an idiot child. I was embarrassed and humiliated in front of my husband and his underlings. You tell me about this ward. Nothing. Let him know. Fuck this. What an evil lady. Huge creature stands over 9 feet tall. Rippling muscles support its massive frame. It seems to be engaged in conversation. Greetings. Turns at your greeting and looks down at you. A look of confusion crosses his face. Greet small one. Gives you an apologetic look and shakes his head. Gort not speaking or talk. Sorry, you asked for. He gestures to one. Greetings. You want Smalley? I have some questions. Got your question? Maybe Thorpe got answer. He smiles at you. Who are you? Smacks himself in the chest with a thunderous blow. Thorpe! Raises his arms above his head and shakes his fist at the sky. Mighty warriors, Thorpe. All Focola are mighty warriors. He places his fist on his hips and glares at you. Who you? I'm Adan. What are you doing here? Barks out a laugh and smiles at you. Thorpe here with friends. He gestures at the nearby Focola. We're gonna barsh a flying lizard. Lets out a roar and begins to pound his chest with a fist the size of hams. Flying lizard? He nods his head when then begins to make crawling motions. Lizard, you know, but he'd fly. He begins to flap his arms like a huge misshapen bird. Eventually he settles down and looks at you expectantly. You mean a dragon? Snorts and raises to his full height. Thorpe good, but you're not that good. Someday Thorpe wants to bash dragon. Stares off into the distance, following expression and size, but it's not that day. Well, if it's not a dragon you're talking about, then what is it? Thorpe not remember what Xanthia called it. Pauses to think. It's lizard, tall as Thorpe, walk on back legs, got wings, got claws, red in color. Think she say they called Abishai? Pauses then shrugs.
Updated my journal.
His eyes light up and gives you a joyful smile as he nods his head. Yes, Abishai. Flying lizard, Thorpe and friends bash real good. Thorpe be warrior of stature then. Xanthia can affect apology. Thorpe take friends to tavern last night. Thorpe gets stinking drunk, fall on Xanthia's table. Spilled drinks all over her. He looks embarrassed. Xanthia say she'd not accept apology unless Thorpe be warrior of stature. Killing an Abishai is supposed to give you stature.
Updated my journal.
Xanthia, she said you're gonna fight an Abishai? Smiles and nods at you enthusiastically. That's right, Thorpe and friends bash. Oh, I'm gonna warn it.
Updated my journal.
Talk to Xanthia, she told me. Seems confused at first, and a look of realization appears on his face. Xanthia played Thorpe for a coney. She lied. Try to get Thorpe and friends dead. I'm afraid so, Thorpe. He nods. Xanthia not deserve apology. Thorpe free from debt to her. Yes, you are free of your debt. Thorpe, thank you. You saved life. You saved life of friends. He turns to the other for coal and speaks to him hurriedly. After a moment, all three bow to you and hands you a pouch of coal. Thank you. You good friend, you deserve. Feels good. Feels good screwing that lady over. I'm not gonna lie. Oh. What circles of death I'm on it? Still. Very nice. Right. Yeah, she reacts. I don't like this one. Oh, is it? Ina. This woman has a yellow cast for severe features. Tattoos cover her body and she wears a long blade at her side. Her eyes are like two small black pearls. As you approach her, they follow Dakon's. Before you reach her, Dakon breaks in. I would have you hear me. What is it, Dakon? My will that we not speak to this woman. Why not? She's a Zerf. Our wills are cross blades. We have no common ground. Very well then, we will not. Yes, I did what I thought was right. Screw you. Get the hell out of here, lady. See a florid, boisterous man. He's shouting and carrying on like there was a war that's about to come through. Like he's got something lodged in his intestines. Like, well, like he's too excited about something to talk in a normal tone of voice. Rapid fire delivery makes it difficult to understand him. You, sir, you there. You look like you could use something. I'm not quite sure what it is yet, but give me time, and I'll have it figured out on the spot. You need rooms? I've got rooms. You need supplies? I've got supplies. Selling. Hammer of quality. I can sell the decanter of endless water for like very little money. I don't know what this pipe does. Whistle pipe. Bound to kill him. Oh, my intestines, that'd be good. Red. Right, towel. Couches. Finger earring. Dharma plush. Okay, that to me says I'm gonna need that at some point. Roll of friend. Huh. Alright, I had some questions for you. Tell me about this Master of Bones. A Master of Bones, a Lord of the Bones of the Night, librarian of the most grisly library this side of Set's home. Skulls sit upon his shelves, whispering their secrets to the Lofar's hardened heart and all who have the temerity to face them. There's much that can be learned there if the place doesn't drive you mad at first. Get to the point. Clears his throat. My apologies for trying to make this a little more interesting. Trying to add a little spice. It's to the spire would have sit. There might be a burnt shell of a building. It's possible that you'll find a ladder strung of sinew, or perhaps just that leads down, 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 down into the heart of Sydney. When you set foot on the ground again, you could come face to face with Lothar himself. What to do with the skulls? They say dead men tell no tales, but in Lothar's salon, the dead spill their secrets to the willing ear. More dead, the more tales, the more chant, and the more chant. Why, the more one's eyes are open to the very heart of the multiverse. Wags his eyebrows for emphasis. Know of any jobs that need doing? Certainly do, friend. I have a little errand for you to run. If you'll take it, it'll be 50 coins. All you need to do is run this handbill down to the print shop. Scofflaw pen to print up 100 copies for. Here, take it. He shoves a crumpled piece of paper into your hand.
Updated my journal.
Come one, come all to guild auction. Go for.
Done.
A lot of money. Time to spend.
I'm gone.
Alec? Older man with long white hair and his yellow skin. He stands tall despite his obvious age. He smiles and gives you a light bow. Who's got spells? May sell magical items. Okay. Ooh. But they're so cheap. Oh, I'm gonna buy them, like. So worth it. Price blind. Vegas shit. Serpent ring. Traveler. Oh. Vegas. AC is -1. Sell this. Can't sell. Crap. Right, dive and bombing. Pipe surf. Spells that.
What? Why not?
Hopper.
I'm gone.
I don't even give a shit though. Copper piece has been clipped. Most of the copper has been shaved off. No doubt to still keep the appearance, allowing the clipper to use the shaved copper to coin. Though many hive dwellers practice this method of making money, when the faded faction practices that they do so with frightening sense of purpose, creating charms that reflect their own miserly natures. In order to create these charms, the faded factions seek out failed business owners and individuals once possessed great wealth, and then at a reversal of fortune were left destitute. Individuals are then given enchanted carving blades and asked to clip a copper for the faded in a tedious day-long ritual. Use the copper coin of the last traces of their former luck. Ritual in the nature of the individual clipping the copper allows a minor enchantment to seep into the coin and affect the fortune of whoever uses it. When the clipped copper charm is it will spill into a rain of copper pieces. There's some luck on the arms for. Greetings. Question. Looking for someone named Lothar. Buy somewhere. Cool. Right, Spike Knuckles. Hey guys, you got anything relevant to my interest? Notch Dagger. Might come back and buy him. There's a lot of text here. Rena. Yeah, pretty young woman wearing simple clothes. Wanders about the market and examines everything, but does not make any purchases. Notice that some people will be avoiding her, but they try not to make it obvious. Flashes you a warm smile as you approach. Smile broadens. Hello, I'm Karina. It's a pleasure to meet you, Cutter. Nods her head. What do you want to know? Someone named Lofar. Frowns. Lofar. I don't know anyone named Lofar. I can't recall ever hearing that name either. Gives you a concerned look. Did you say Master of the Bones? That sounds ominous, doesn't it? Why would anyone want to be known by that name? Sounds rather impressive. She nods her head. Yes, I think I see what you mean. It does have a certain something about it. Kind of catchy. If you think about it long enough, she looks lost in... Up I find some magic. Smiles and points to one of the counters. Alec over there sells some magic things. Are you a mage? You don't look like one, but I guess looks can be rather deceiving. I don't know what a mage really looks like, now that I think about it. Do you? Yes, they wear robes and funny symbols and a pretty hat. Really, it's good to know. I mean, mages scare me, so I want to know what they look like. I guess it's all that power they have, and they can do really incredible things on all, but you don't know what they look like. Warriors and priests and no other people, powerful people who just look powerful with all the stuff they carry around that says they're powerful people, but not mages. I guess that's why, but I really like to talk, don't you? Shuffles her feet and looks embarrassed. Well, I've been told that I probably talk a bit too much, and well, people tend to avoid me, and I don't really have any friends or male friends courting me. Sometimes I get lonely. Her voice gets lower and lower until she is finally silent. She stares at the ground at her feet. I don't think you're a bad person. I happen to like you.
My journal.
Gives you a hopeful look. Really? Thank you so much. I don't know your name. Amedan. Aslo. A young boy of pale yellow skin. His clothes are dirty and need a mending. Currently he is tending. Turns and gives a half smile as he sets down his work. Hail. Do you need some help? What is this place? This place, he glances around. It's the open air market. A lot of buyers and some sellers come in, set up their kit for the... Been here for a good time. I've been working here for a while under the eye of Midar. Looks a little distant. One day I could be running his stall, I could. What is it that you do here? Points proudly at the furnace. The furnace, it's used to... He shrugs his shoulders. I don't know what it's used for. Midar says to keep it stoked and burning right. He wipes sweat from his brow and glances about. Father, one of the merchants here? He nods. Anzi is his name. That's my dad's store over there. Gestures at a stall to the right of the furnace. Don't have what you want, he may be able to point it to you. What kind of goods are available? Tell me about the city. Sigil, the center of the plains, a city where almost everything intersects. Never boring, really. Lady of Pain is the law, and the rest of us mostly try and bang out living under a shadow. Barks a laugh, then coughs. You tell me about the Lady of Pain. Don't know much about her. She keeps the powers out of Sigil, keeps the fiends out, and talks and deals with nobody, except maybe the Davis. Penny and the Dead Book damn quick if you worship her or try it and hurt Sigil. The face and the blade surrounding it wouldn't be the last use. At the mention of the face surrounded by blades, a memory forces itself into your consciousness. The moment you're standing in a darkened alley, breathing heavily. Approaching you in the darkness is an uncannily beautiful woman, her face shrouded in blades with cold eyes. Suddenly the memory fades and you are talking to the lad once more. Fire at some point. I'm missing a skull. Comes rather excited. Missing a skull, are you? I bet I'll know what happened to it. In the port is a fella, a mage or priest to hear tell. Collects heads and puts them on his shelves like books. They're dead, but his magics are such he can make them answer questions for you. So they're in the dead book. Where can I find this person? Browns, not sure really. I heard tell he's got hip in one of the ruined buildings around here, but I've never been there. Snaps his fingers. Others might know though. Might ask Sebastian about it. Anything worth seeing around here? Much to see. The Grey Foundry is impressive though. You might check that out. Home of the Believers, you know. Stops to think. Most of the more amazing sites are in some of the upper wards. It might be better to look around there. I hear there's a brothel there, the Fest Hall, and some other places that aren't interesting. I don't know for sure. I've been here all my life. What about the Foundry? Yep. Beavers, Godsman. Yeps. Okay. Cinder. A large, blustery merchant. He looks to be totally hairless, and his pale yellow skin is scarred from its burns. He looks intently at his approach. Greetings. He smiles at you. Greetings. I'm Cinder. I heard about you. You be the scarred, clueless fellow that be going around the wards asking questions. What can I be helping you with? Like you have a few scars yourself. Frowns and begins to laugh. Aye, that I do. A few years back, I had me a kip set up in the hive. Some balmy maid decided to burn the ward right out of sigil. Almost took me with it. Sick for a month I was. All that long. Nods and gets a faraway look for a moment. Aye, it could have been worse. Local mage healed me, fixed the scars and all. Could have grown my hair back, but I kind of look... That's Sebastian. Interested in spells. I think I can help you. Let me show you your wares. Alright. Full remove. Out of shadow. Or smith. Thing. Old. Really need knock. Blindness. Hoarding. Healed. Shadows or powers down. 5 seconds. Ashes unbearable derisive laughter. Male living creatures. Intelligence. Saving throw. Etheric touch. That seems... Force. Out of shadows. Plus 3 to AC, plus... Okay. Yeah. Force miss. Yeah. Alright. Well, I think that'll do for now. We do much in this episode, but there's a lot of people to talk to, especially in the area. So, thanks for watching. Join me next time where I'll probably get straight to getting Morton back. To be honest, because I kind of want him back. So yeah, see you next time, guys.